Easy. Take it easy. I got you. Take it easy.
All right, or should I say, hey yo, creatures of the night. Welcome to episode 198 of Talking Taker, our encyclopedic exploration digging up the career of the greatest professional wrestling character of all time, The Undertaker. My name is Alex Dorio. I just lost my toothpick. I don't know how Scott Hall did that all these years. It's all right, I got another one behind the ear.
Just like
Came
Scott.
prepared. I want to thank you for joining us for yet another round of Dead Man Talking, and I am joined, as always, by my tag team partner, my wrestling buddy, my fellow creature of the night. He is absolutely oozing machismo right now, Mr. Travis White. And Travis, of course, I always enjoy talking to you. I'm enjoying this right now, but I do certainly wish we were talking under slightly better circumstances right now as we bring back this podcast a little bit early for a special occasion, for a somber occasion, if you will. We're not going to try and make it too somber. We're going to be celebratory here and pay tribute to, I would say, one of both of our all-time favorite wrestlers, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, the bad guy who shockingly passed away earlier this week. Way too young, way too sudden, and very, very sad loss to the wrestling world and the wrestling community. And of course, Scott Hall never faced The Undertaker on pay-per-view, so we never got the full Talking Taker experience to talk about our love for him and our appreciation for him. I'm sure it's come up definitely throughout the years. Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and toss this toothpick because I can't do it. I don't know. He was just so cool, man. He was so effortless how he did that with the toothpick. But no, we've got a couple hidden gems that involve The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, and Scott Hall together that we're going to talk about and do watch-along style here and share some memories. We're not trying to cash in on his memory. We honestly just want to pay tribute to him.
Yeah.
And we want to pay our respects to him in this way. So we're going to go way back in time, in the time traveling hearse, to New Japan, which is fun. We've never really talked about that here on the show. And do a Coliseum video exclusive match between Undertaker and Razor Ramon. So we'll give you all the details on that. But Travis,
not to be confused with the Japanese team from Memphis Wrestling.
They are not involved here tonight.
No PYQI here, baby. Although I could use a little PYQI in my life.
A different Japanese team.
Yeah.
What comes to mind when I say the name Scott Hall to you, Travis? Like, what are just the first? What's the memories that come up in your brain?
Well, personally, I have a memory. My brother, again, everyone watched wrestling in the late 90s. My brother, it was on in my room, so he would come in there and, he liked Chris Jericho. He liked Scott Hall, too. He liked Sting. But, I would get so many razor's edges. Like, my brother would give me the razor's edge on the couch. That was his go-to move. Like, put me in a lion tamer and give me a razor's edge. And, I texted my brother the other day when Scott Hall died, and he's like, yeah, I'm sad to see that. I hated that. Because, even my brother was a casual. I wouldn't call him a casual fan. He was just on the peripheral because of his little brother. But he knew Scott Hall. He knew Kevin Nash. He knew Too Sweet. He knew the NWO. He knew that Scott Hall. And he thought he was cool. He knew all his sayings, his mannerisms. And my brother wasn't even a fan. But so that Scott Hall was just cool, man. It's so cliche to say he was cool, but he was. He resonated with people that weren't even wrestling fans. And that is how you know you got a true star on your hands. So that's just the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Scott Hall.
Well, dude, I texted you this earlier this week. We were commiserating and mourning his loss. But it's something you've brought up on the show a few times. You've talked about wrestlers who jump off the screen and who are easily imitatable, guys that have a signature walk or a signature pose or taunt or move that you that as kids you imitate on the playground and you imitate in the backyard or when you're wrestling in the pool. All right, I'm being the Undertaker, I'm being Hulk Hogan, I'm cupping my hand to the air. I can't think of anybody who emphasized that more than Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. I could come up with a dozen things just off the top of my head that I could do, with the toothpick in my mouth, throwing the toothpick at you, the Too Sweet, the this little thing with
Yeah.
your finger wiggling your fingers like, oh, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
The thumbs to the chest, the walk, the little
walk out.
the walk out. His catchphrases, man.
Yeah,
All his
the
catchphrases.
Hey yo, the survey, the bad guy. And then I texted you. I was like, one of my favorite things he did was when he'd do an abdominal stretch, he would reach back and grab the top rope when he was a heel. And nobody does that anymore. But if you and I were wrestling or something as kids, and we do that, like we knew who we were imitating. Like but yeah, there's nobody. I don't want to crap on the current product, but there's nobody nowadays that has that many iconic things. I mean, Hogan's got a few things, leg drop, this thing, what you're gonna do, like. But all those guys back then had that kind of stuff. But Scott Hall has maybe more than anybody.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah.
And he's responsible for giving people things too. Like he told DDP, you got like when DDP was Diamond Stud, he told him you got to have something signature. You got to have something. So like he had the cigar, he had the flashy outfits and stuff. Like he helped DDP become DDP. I don't know that he gave him the cutter symbol, but like he said, you got to come up with something. And again, he's just helping people. He told Sting, hey, you ever seen The Crow? No? Well, what's that? Because Sting was changing his face paint and growing his hair out brown and longer. Yeah. And he told me, why don't you try that? And then, like, didn't want any credit for it. Doesn't ask for credit for it. Sting, I think, is the first one that spilled the beans about it. Like, it's just, like, he helped people become iconic, too,
Yeah, you see that people talk about him, shared a lot of love and a lot of stories, and of course, there's horror stories about the Clique, and, politics and all that stuff, and I'm sure a lot of that's true too. But I mean, he was also a very generous, very giving guy with ideas, and he was never afraid to lose in the ring either. Like my favorite memories of him is him losing to the 1-2-3 Kid on Monday Night Raw, and he gave X-Pac, Sean Waltman, a career in that moment. He did not have to do that, but he recognized it doesn't matter if I win. Like he became a babyface out of that, and Razor Ramon became a bigger star because of losing to the 1-2-3 Kid, and he understand that. He did that for Chris Jericho in like WCW, like 96 or 97. Like he just, before Jericho was anybody, he lost to him and put him over and did stuff. I didn't see this back in the day, but apparently he did that for Tanahashi in New Japan, like really? At some point. Wow, like think like in 07 or 08, he's just like, that guy's gonna be a star one day. Like, let me put him over. Like he didn't have to do stuff like that. Such a recognizable style in the ring, like you talked about, the abdominal stretch, like the great punches. Slam. I love recognizable.
You can imitate
punches.
His punch, and you know that punch. Yeah, you know
great.
That punch. Yeah, you can imitate his punch, the Rock's punch, Austin punch, a Kurt Angle punch. Like those are a couple guys you know whose punch they are, and that's one of them right there.
And he had great squash matches back in the day. Like they were so entertaining because he had all those signature moves and that signature style. It made it so much fun to watch. Of course, like talking about his impact as Razor Ramon, he put the ladder match on the map at WrestleMania 10. He will always be remembered for that. Not the first ladder match, but it's one that established that. And the ladder matches to this day are essential parts of WWE. They have whole pay-per-views built around them that wouldn't have happened without Scott Hall.
This is just hearsay. I saw it suggested online. I'm not saying it's going to happen or should, but it was a cool idea. Somebody suggested, they have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Maybe they should have a Razor Ramon ladder the ladder match could be in his name, or Scott Hall Memorial ladder match. Like, if they're going to have one anyway, have it for the Intercontinental title, at WrestleMania or any pay-per-view, whatever, like, call it. That's pretty cool. They had that.
I would love that, sure.
They had just these iconic, he's an iconic figure, and he's one of the greatest Intercontinental champions ever,
Yeah. I think he was the first 5-time Intercontinental champion. Yeah. So that's been broken. Record's been broken, but he was the first one to do that. And
he just, I forgot what I was going to say, but he, anyway, move ahead. I'll get back to it.
Well, I mean, he started the Monday Night War. Like, It wasn't his idea, but it was his impact and his arrival on the scene in WCW that launched the NWO, that launched the Monday Night War, which launched the Attitude Era. Like, literally the wrestling business would not be the same without him playing that role, and not everybody could have played that role. Like
No.
maybe a couple other guys you could have slotted in there, but very, very few. And I mean, he was just the perfect guy. I remember watching that moment live, and I did not know what was happening.
Right.
I wasn't online at that time. I
Right.
literally thought WWF was invading WCW at that time.
You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. It's awesome. Yeah, and maybe Nash could have been the only other one to do it, but like that's it. Those two, and yeah, just like you said, the Monday Night Wars had.
It wouldn't have
were
meant the
just
same if
in there.
Savio Vega did it.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Golly, we had the LWO. But anyway, yeah, just that. He fired the first shot, of bringing the NWO. Again, it wasn't his idea or anything, but he was there first, and then then Nash came, a week later or 2 weeks later, and then the Hogan turn. And Hogan, the day that Scott Hall died, he gave his speech at his whatever Hollywood Muscle Shirt Studio or whatever it's called restaurant, and he talked about how people thought Hulkamania was dead, and because of Scott Hall's influence and the way the NWO turned, he made Hulk one of the greatest heels of all time.
Sure.
A whole nother extended his career since '96 to who he is now. I mean, he could have been dead in the water at that point, and it's just crazy. And a selfless performer. Yeah, was he selfish behind the scenes? Probably, because it's business. Him and Kevin Nash both say it's the wrestling business.
Yeah.
We're not here to make friends. We're here to make money. But he's got a great mind for it, and he was selfless in the way, like you said, he puts people over. Yeah. It's just there's so many good things to say about him.
Yeah, man, he's a guy that would love to watch perform, love to watch him on the mic, no matter what he was doing. He brought electricity to the screen. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I think that keep going. I'm double checking this, but go ahead.
Well, he's a great comeback story too. And I think that's why.
Yeah.
I think we all have so much affection for him because honestly, we all probably thought he was going to die 15 years ago.
Yes.
He's very public struggles with drugs and alcohol and all of that, and a lot of very sad moments in his life. But thanks to DDP and some help and work that he did, he was able to recover and has had like this last 10 years or so of kind of regaining his credibility, regaining his belovedness by the fans, and that's kind of why it was so devastating that he passed away just through this medical issue, through a blood clot or something, because it wasn't because of drugs or alcohol. He had his life together, and that didn't kill him, but sadly, this sort of stuff did. But I think, that's another reason why so many people, this hit so hard, and he was so beloved because of that comeback story.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like I say, we've expected this story 15 years ago, but we got it now. Thank God we got to have, he got to end life on better terms, He
got to go in the Hall of Fame twice.
Yeah.
Take a body drop at WrestleMania and that Sting Triple H match, have a big moment in that. I mean, yeah, a lot of cool stuff.
I know I was going to say, okay, I got to see him live. When I was there July 6, 1998, when Goldberg beat Hogan, Scott Hall was Goldberg's first opponent that night, and he hadn't been on Nitro in like 3 or 4 months. His was his return to the company, to the show, So I did have the benefit of getting to see him live one time. I don't think he was at the house show I was at earlier that year, but I do know he was there that night, and that's why I wanted to verify that before I spewed some lies. But yeah. So I did have the benefit of being able to see him live one time, and that was 1998, dude. That was an amazing time. So.
The huge moment, huge match, iconic, for sure. Goldberg had to win that match to go on to face Hogan later that night. Mm-hmm. So yeah, dude, that's very, very cool. I got, not to one up you, but I got to meet him twice.
Right.
So
yeah, I know. I was going to bring it up. Yeah.
I posted a couple pictures on the Talking Taker social media pages. But just real quick, in I think it was 94, I met him as an 8-year-old kid, and he wasn't the first wrestler I met. I met Jake the Snake about a year before that, and I've told that story on the podcast before. But this was for a live event, a house show WWF was doing, and I was talking to my mom earlier. I don't know how we knew about this autograph signing, if they advertised it on TV or on the radio or something, but it was like an official autograph signing. So yeah, I was just a kid and went in there and got his autograph. But the funny thing is, it was at a pawn shop in downtown Augusta. Like, that's where the WWF official autograph signing was. And I didn't think it was funny as a kid, but like looking back, it's kind of funny. Like Razor Ramon with all the gold and chains and everything is signing autographs at a pawn shop.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was part of the joke or whatever, but he was real cool. Signed a magazine cover for me, took a picture with me. I was, starstruck and gobsmacked and everything. And I'm sure he wrestled that night at the house show. And I had the merchandise chain. I have no idea where that thing is. I would love to still have that, but that was cool. And then I met him, I would say about 20 years later at the when I was living in Atlanta. They had a premiere event for the Resurrection of Jake the Snake movie, and had did a Q&A with DDP, Scott Hall, and Jake the Snake afterward, and then they signed autographs and took pictures with everybody afterward. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, me and a couple buddies, my brother-in-law and another friend of mine, we all went down there and watched the movie. It's a great movie, of course. Definitely recommend watching that if you've never seen it out there. And then, all three of those guys were awesome and took a great picture with the three of us and talked to us for a minute. So very happy that I got to meet all of those guys and get to take that picture and get to have that memory, even though it's, just spent like 30 seconds or a minute total with them. It's cool
awesome.
to look back on that. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. So we've got plenty more to talk about, and we'll reminisce about his career, but we don't want this to be a too long of an episode. But we do have two matches that we're going to watch here, two very, very different matches to connect The Undertaker and Razor Ramon. The second one is just The Undertaker versus Razor Ramon from a Coliseum video, Rampage 92. It's on the Peacock. Still want to say WWE Network, but it's on the Peacock, and it's the first match on that tape. We're gonna watch that second, though. It's only about 10 minutes long, and but it's one of the rare representations of those two guys and their most iconic characters against each other. And this first one that we're gonna watch, Travis, I think you brought it up. I want to say it was on our WCW episode when we talked about Mean Mark in WCW. I feel like you talked about this match before that, because it was kind of around that same time period. Why don't you tell people what this match is that we're going to watch first?
Yeah, it's Scott Hall and Punisher Dice Morgan, which is The Undertaker over in Japan, versus Shinya Hashimoto and Masa Saito. So those of you who know your New Japan history, Masa Saito, big name, kind of a big deal over there.
Oh, yeah.
But this is from New Japan, and it's March 19th, 1990. So, end of his WCW career and a few months before he goes to WWF. But yeah, this match, I remember watching this whole thing and talking about it a little bit on that episode. I don't want to say too much about it because we'll get into it here, but it's fun to watch Big Scott Hall look like he's Tom Selleck or something. It's just crazy to see who we know that just passed away, and this guy right here. It's awesome. But yeah, this is going to be a different type of match, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, let's get into it. I've got the link for the match in the show notes. It's obviously not on Peacock. It's not even on YouTube. We're using Vimeo to watch this. But yeah,
maybe Tony Khan will buy the rights to this too.
That'd be sweet. You can check out the show notes. There you go. And I'll throw the link up on social media as well if you do want to watch along with us. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and play on this and enjoy it. I haven't seen it yet, so I will enjoy it for the first time.
Any of it? Okay.
No, I haven't seen any of it.
I haven't watched it since that episode, but it's going to be a fun one.
I started to watch it this morning, and I was like, I'll just watch it tonight. So,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll go with 3, 2, 1, play, and hit play. So 3, 2, 1, and play. Well, we got the introductions here.
We got some flower girls in the ring as well. Interesting look.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, you're not hearing this in the audio, but the tag team of Scott Hall and Punisher Dice Morgan coming out first to Miracle Man by Ozzy Osbourne, which is an excellent entrance song.
Look at them walking down together. Taker's pumping his like a bushwhacker.
He's doing a bushwhacker walk.
Look at Scott. Scott Hall's a big dude, man.
Huge.
He's a big guy. He's like Billy Gunn's a big guy too. Like you don't think about how big a guy like Billy Gunn is, but Scott Hall he's so tall and he's just a big, muscly dude here. But he looks like Tom Selleck, man. It's just crazy.
You know, he didn't look that big back in the day because everybody was big.
Right.
If he wrestled
Hogan's
today,
big, yeah.
he'd look like Omos. Like, yeah, that's the kind
Yeah,
of
he
guy.
would. You're right.
He's a giant, man.
Yeah, I mean, put this guy in the ring with Johnny Gargano. It's like, what? Yeah. David and Goliath. I love Johnny Gargano, but and speaking of Gargano, he put something on Facebook the other day or in Twitter about because Scott Hall wasn't an official performance center like coach or trainer, but he'd come down there all the time because Sean and Hunter are the main guys behind it.
Of course,
so,
right.
Talked about how I think Ciampa said the same thing. Watching Gargano asked, "Can we watch y'all's ladder match with Sean and Razor together?" And just pointed things. So he said that's one of the greatest memories I'll ever have. A of Scott Hall, but B of just in my life getting to watch that WrestleMania 10 match with Razor and HBK and just picking their brains. Like, are you kidding me? I would give so much
Priceless,
to do that.
You know?
It's insane.
This looks like it's for the tag team titles there in New Japan. It looks like Saito and Hashimoto are the champs. I know nothing about New Japan history, but they've got belts, and we got some
belts.
championship-style introductions here with Big Scott Hall, Starship Coyote, as he was known at one point.
Yeah,
that's got to be
a
one of
good
the
name.
greatest wrestling names I've ever heard.
That's just like names in a hat. You just pull them out. So they're playing. Are they playing the American National Anthem right now, or something?
Let me turn my sound up a little bit. Yes.
Yeah. So a very Olympic feel here.
I like that. I dig that.
Yeah.
That's
American
pretty neat.
flag hanging up in there. So look at that. Very respectful. Again, in Japan, especially back then, it's treated as an actual sport. You know, it really was.
Look at that man.
Look at that stash, dude. And look at that guy.
It's
Big
almost
red.
a shame that he didn't wear the stash for longer in his career, dude. It's so beautiful.
I like Taker's shirt. Dangerous Threads, Nashville, Tennessee.
I gotta get me. Can we make one of those? Can we put those on the T-Bone website?
I'm pretty sure Dangerous Threads is probably closed by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing the national anthem while Big Texas and Big Scott Hall just stand there.
Punisher Dice Morgan, sir.
Excuse me,
right.
Punisher Dice Morgan.
Another one of the best names I've ever heard in my life.
Just putting names in.
Tell me, Travis, what was the first time you knew, you ever realized that Scott Hall used to look like that? Used to look like Tom Selleck? Because it was probably like 98 or 99 ever for me that I ever was even made aware that he looked like that in the 80s.
Oh, I think it was way later than that for me. I think it was in the 2000s once I finally started looking stuff up. I mean, it was way later. I finally realized that he had a career before Razor Ramon, you know? And yeah, I had no idea. I was blown away.
Well, I knew he was the Diamond Stud, but even then, that's basically Razor Ramon.
He's basically, he's pre-Razor. There's a Japanese flag, and they're playing their national anthem. Saito and Hashimoto, what's his name?
Hashimoto, Shinya Hashimoto.
Look at those sideburns. I love it. And that guy, he just looks like
another stud, dude. Just built like a brick house,
like
right
an
there,
ox,
dude.
man.
Good gracious.
They don't make them like that anymore.
They do not. Scott Hall, legendary career in the AWA as well. Had a great run with Kurt Hennig. And a lot of that stuff is on Peacock. You can watch. There's some of it on Scott Hall's DVD, which is one of the best they've ever done.
So good.
Yeah. All the fun stuff.
Yeah,
on
I
there.
learned. I mean, I didn't know that story about him. You know, and the gun and all that stuff. You know, until he released that. So, it's cool to see how far he come. But yeah, it's amazing he made it as long as he did, man. It really is. Look how small Taker is there, man. Like just body-wise.
Skin and bones, man.
It's crazy.
He's not making any money. He's eating cans of tuna fish out on the road, ramen noodles. He's just skin and bones with the red mullet. Of course, we have covered some of his run. We covered his run in Memphis on a special edition of the show. We covered his WCW career, but we've never really talked about him in Japan, except for that Japanese Royal Rumble we did a couple months ago. But this is a new territory of The Undertaker we've never discussed before.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun, man. And look, that ring is pretty big.
It does look really big.
Ring.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
It's taking a long time to get this match rolling, though.
A lot of pre-match ceremony.
Yeah. Again, it's presented as a sport, so you get all the pomp and circumstance with that, you know. Oh, look at that. That didn't hold.
He just did like a Big Show chokeslam motion.
Yeah. Taking his shirt off, messing his hair. He looks like Bobby Budnick there. Looks not good.
But he does have a lot of charisma. It's still, you know, he's got a lot of energy. His streamers, Ring of Honor style, coming into the ring.
Well, yeah, they got that from Japan.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a Japanese thing. One of my favorite things is that Beast in the East thing on the WWE Network. They did that there. All right, referee, look, checking the fingers and checking for, illegal objects and stuff. Checking the good guys too. It's a fair sport. I just like the guys that are about to wrestle. You might look at them here and be like, I mean, by today's standards, not body guys, but like these guys are about to bust some heads, man. It is just, it's so fun to go back and watch this era of wrestling when it was presented as more realistic and taken that way, and kind of the genie was still in the bottle a little bit, you know?
Oh, yeah, especially in Japan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. And I feel like this match is going to be stiff.
Yeah. Stiffsky. Yeah. Here we go.
Punisher, Dice Morgan, and Hashimoto starting things off here, circling each other. And just feeling each other out. I
mean, he looks like, it's like if Jimmy Wayne Yang gained about 140 pounds. That's what Hashimoto looks like.
And Dice is like if Sheamus lost 100 pounds. That's what he looks like right now.
Pale. Yeah. Oh.
And if you thought Stone Cold Steve Austin was the first guy to just wrestle in black trunks, man, we got four of them. Four guys in generic black trunks.
Yeah, I mean, there's no PDM or dice on the back of his pants or
Not
anything.
a thing. Not a word.
Red boots, red shin pads. Look at that. Diving clothesline that we'd go to see. And he's going to put his hand up.
Already there in the repertoire. Is he signaling for like a claw or something?
Yep.
Or a choke
He's going for like the
yeah, Von
Iron
Erich
Claw.
Yeah. All right. That one did not stick in his repertoire.
Kick.
Oh, yeah.
Hashimoto would kick to the chest. Make Daniel Bryan, or whatever his name is, Bryan Danielson proud.
But big motions there from Dice. He goes to the outside. He's pushing the guardrail. He's upset. You know, he's showing, like I said, a lot of charisma, even though he's very green.
Mm-hmm.
You can see why a lot of companies saw a lot of money in this guy. Thought he was going to be a star one day.
Yep, everybody but Ole Anderson. That's why he's my least favorite Anderson.
Drop toe hold.
You see how much air that Scott Hall just got off of that?
Beautiful leg drop. Absolutely. Golly. I mean, the guy could work. He was not just a great talker. It was not just have that charisma, that cool factor that you talked about. I mean, this guy could go.
Yeah. And, you know, Scott Hall, he's just big Scott Hall here, but then he'd go on to, be, Diamond Stud and then Razor Ramon. But then it wasn't until he came back to WCW and they kind of, the NWO, and I mean, I'll give Eric Bischoff all the credit for this, as far as bringing the realism into it.
He's giving Hashimoto the point.
Giving the point finger.
Giving him the finger.
Yeah. But bringing that realism, like this is Scott Hall. Like this is Kevin Nash,
Dude, he is jacked right now, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
He is yoked. That referee, man, he looks like he could go.
That was Harvey Whippleman, man.
Red shoes for him.
Tiny. So Hall and Morgan are dominating the early part of this match, isolating Hashimoto in the ring, working over the leg. I don't know that they were like, I guess they must have been a tag team semi-regularly to be in this spot, but I didn't see much more information about them as a tag team back in the past.
Yeah, me neither. But look, Taker, I mean, working a leg, like this is Dice Morgan, excuse me, like Taker in 1990 would not wrestle like this. So again, it just goes to show you, it's so cool to go back his pre-Taker days and to see just what all he had to contain,
That's right,
to hold in to be the Undertaker. Because, I mean, yeah, he would use that diving clothesline, but that was because he was a dead zombie guy who had to move like that, and then he'd show these little flashes of athleticism when he needed to, walking the top rope, the diving clothesline. But honestly, besides those two things, everything was slow, plodding, and methodical. But here, he's doing stuff that big clothesline.
Stiff.
Saito.
God,
he's like a bulldog, dude.
Knocked the wind out of him.
This was like a Japanese bulldog.
Big body slam, and now he's going to work over the legs.
For a crab.
Dice.
Andy? Andrew Dice Clay. Well, yep. Japan.
Yeah, it's funny because, yeah, obviously he probably would not have become as big of a star without that Undertaker character, but you wonder what kind of worker he would have turned into if he would have not had to work within that zombie character. You know, what sort of things he could have been doing.
As long as a career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, probably
it was
not.
able to limit some of the bumps. Because if he'd wrestled like this still, or like he did toward the end of his career, like he wouldn't be able to have had it for 30 years probably.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it taught him that psychology. It taught him to be able to slow things down here.
All right, so the Japanese team is going with the same exact approach. They're going to work the left leg of the big man. Again, you can do it. I can do it too. So, I wonder what Dave Meltzer gave this star rating for this.
That's a good question.
I doubt he did.
Well, this is on kind of a big show. It appears. I don't know much about it, but there. Yeah, and again, there's not as much crowd activity as we usually talk about in these watch-alongs. That's more the Japanese style. Is they're more polite and more quiet, taking in the sportsmanship and the action here as Saito as Dice in the leg lock and is working him over slowly. Yeah, very different style than we're used to.
Yeah. Taker is begging off. I mean, he's selling that pain of his leg. Kind of like an Indian deathlock almost. Oh, he got the claw on his head.
Oh, while in the deathlock.
Look at that rat tail. Man, that mullet is wicked. Oh, he got out of the leg lock with the iron claw.
Smart.
But look, he's selling that leg. He just hobbled on his left leg. Look at that.
He sure did.
Beautiful. Beautiful psychology.
Learning a lot from being in the ring with these guys. That's not psychological. That was a low blow, man.
It looked like it almost was.
Yeah, the ref let it go. Saito tags out to Hashimoto, and Dice Morgan's in a bad way. Oh, no, he's not. Playing possum. Got the claw on. Jackson back into the corner for Hall to come in there. Beautiful working punch. Yeah, right up there with the King, Jerry Lawler. Just a great working punch.
Oh!
We're going to see it.
About to get the Razor's Edge.
Early on, Incarnation.
I forgot about this.
The Razor's Edge, Outsider's Edge.
Oh!
Hashimoto tried to get out of the ring, but he goes down.
Oh, only a 2 count, brother.
Just an iconic finisher.
Damian Priest uses it?
I was about to say, I think he does.
Scorpion Deathlock right now.
How about this?
He's using it. Using the Scorpion Deathlock right now.
Oh!
I remember talking about that on our show.
Look at that.
Yeah, so Damian Priest uses the Razor's Edge, and he actually got permission from Scott Hall. So for those of you who don't know, Damian Priest's favorite wrestler was Scott Hall and Undertaker.
That's cool.
Those two guys. But Damian Priest, even before Hall passed away, Damian Priest come out with like the surfer walk. He does that. He asked Scott Hall all these things. Can I use these? And Scott Hall's like, I don't care, dude. Like, it's fine. Like, yeah, but like, so that's another thing. Just being selfless, not being. It was Damian Priest should have asked out of respect for the elder statesman, but like he didn't have to. But like Scott Hall also didn't have to say, sure, you can use it, but he did. He said, yeah. So yeah, Priest uses that surfer walk. He always has. He did it as punishment. Martinez too. He uses the. He does the fall away slam sometimes, and he does the crucifix for powerbomb or whatever, Razor's Edge. So he did it on Raw this past Monday in homage to Razor. So pretty cool.
We just need to bring back the abdominal stretch.
And he's a heel now, so he should. Yeah, Damian Priest, I like that guy. He gets it. Anyway, yeah, big. You could tell this loss affected him for sure. Oh, some good tag team work here.
Got some double teaming. They know what they're doing.
Boom! Sloppy elbow from Big Scott.
Demolition decapitation there. Yeah. All right.
And again, this is a sports show, so you got all the photographers around the edge. It's just so funny to see, man.
Mm-hmm.
Quick tags from Dice and Scott Hall. Wait,
I was just about to say I missed the tag.
He just came in.
I just walked in.
Hold on.
Dice has been spamming the Iron Claw too. He's been hitting a lot of that. He's got front face lock in there now. Oh, behind the back tag. Behind the back
tag. Good stuff. All right, so tell me this: do you think the Outsiders are a fan? Oh, double big boot!
Woo!
When you think of Hall, do you think of him as a tag team Outsiders?
You know, I think Razor Ramon number one, but that's what I grew up.
That's what you grew up on.
And I know you weren't really watching much during that time, but yeah, like when I think Scott Hall, first thing I think is Razor Ramon. Yeah. But yeah, I mean the Outsiders are just as iconic, you know, maybe even more iconic, possibly. So yeah.
They were more popular in a bigger era of ratings and stuff. But, you know, he's definitely Razor. But I had a buddy the other day. He just asked me. We were talking about Scott Hall passed away, and he's like, "Man, I thought they were a great tag team, him and Nash." I just thought it was funny. That's what his first thought went to them as the Outsiders, and I'm sure a lot of people do. I honestly don't think of him. I think of him as a singles career. I mean, in the NWO, I think of him as a singles guy, but also just his Intercontinental title stuff, you know, with Razor and stuff with Shawn. So. Anyway,
not his TNA run.
No, but he was in ECW. Do you remember that in like 2000?
He had the Fugees music, dude. Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
So awesome. Good. Oh, dude!
Massive power slam on Hall, which is a big guy to do a power slam on.
I was about to say, that is insane. Oh, snap, Mary! Don't say that anymore. Oh, don't see Snapmares. Look at that stash, man.
Man, like, in the 80s, though, that stash was the epitome of cool. And that's just everything about Scott Hall. It didn't matter what he said or what he did. He was just naturally cool. And you can't fake that, dude.
No,
like,
that's very cool that you said that, yeah.
I hate to rag on a guy like Sheamus, but, like, is Sheamus probably tougher than Scott Hall? Maybe. He might be stronger. Maybe he could beat you up more, but there's nothing cool about Sheamus, and doesn't matter what you do to him, doesn't matter how he dresses, what kind of moves he does, he'll never be cool. And that's fine. Not every wrestler has to be cool, but like, you know, a guy like Scott Hall just oozes that machismo and just drips that off the screen, and
he does.
You can't fake that, and you can't duplicate that. No.
Yeah, him and I know they get a lot of crap for who they were behind, but like Nash and Hall, it didn't matter. And think about them in WCW. They were supposed to be heels as the Wolfpack had began, and the crowd turned them face. And then like they had Sting join because they just couldn't deny it. And then when Nash beats Goldberg and defeats his streak with the help of Scott Hall and the cattle prod, half of that crowd goes crazy cheering because Nash won. Like.
Yep.
And it's because they were so freaking cool. They could come out and do whatever they wanted to, and they dance around like this and do stupid stuff. And they were our age now. They were in the mid-30s back then, and they were so freaking cool though, you know. And that's one thing that I've heard them both talk about on podcasts before is like trying to tell, you know, they call Eric Bischoff Eazy-E, telling him like, you know, we got to get something cool here going. We're in our 30s, but like let's get hip hop going on here. Like say like Conan do his thing, and you know, they would wear their little bandanas like Tupac would, stuff like. Let's just get with the times and be cool. And again, I don't know what's cool nowadays. You know, they were ahead of the times, trying to get that younger demographic to get them.
And there was nothing cool about the WWF in 1996. Like nothing at all. Not till Stone Cold and DX started going, which was because of what the NWO was doing. Yep. And
you know the stuff that was cool was force fed down your throat like Shawn, and the crowd turned on him. you know?
Sure, right.
And they start
right.
booing him, you know? But he was cool. But then Vince did what he does, and he shoves him down your throat, and then you want to hate him. So yeah, you're right.
And it's so cool that we still do it in 2022. Like anybody from our generation still throws up a too sweet, still like walks through a crowded like space with little Scott Hall.
I walk through every elevator like that. I mean, I can't not walk through an elevator like that.
You still, if you get a toothpick in a restaurant, you still put one behind your ear and flick it at somebody. And like this too sweet, man. The Bullet Club stole that because it was so cool. Yeah. And Scott Hall and the NWO did it, and it became a whole other thing. And like the Bullet Club and the Young Bucks and the Elite and all Elite Wrestling, like you can trace all of that back to some of that stuff, man. It's wild, dude.
Hall was doing the abdominal stretch there. I popped.
There he was.
Good tags here, man. This is a good tag match they got. We're talking over because we're reminiscing about the guy we love, but another diving clothesline again.
Yeah, it was very
green,
nice.
So he's going to the well with the same moves a lot, but
it's like Jimmy Snooker or something too. Just threw up hand signs, and he's hit the Iron Claw a few more times since we've been talking to.
Good tags.
Yeah, this is a nice match, man. I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you've never seen Hall or Taker during this era.
I wish
it is fun to look at. He might as well have been. He might as well have been. Although Hall looks more like Oates right now.
Yo, bitch, girl. And now look, I remember mentioning this when I talked about this briefly in our show. I talked about how each team was doing the same moves to each other because we saw the Crab from Saito.
Cool psychology.
The psychology, they're trying to one-up each other, but they're doing the same moves to each other, which I think is something really cool. And when you got 20 minutes to tell a story like this, you can do that. I think it's pretty cool. Look, Taker came in there, booted him in the head.
Yeah, behind the referee's back. No tag. I like it.
Referee
definitely playing the heels here.
Job there.
Yeah, not so
here
great.
he goes. Here he goes. Old school.
Look, it doesn't get more old school than this.
Nope.
Taker walking the ropes briskly.
Ooh. Punch him in the back of the scapula.
Love it. How cool is that?
Great.
Man, I retweeted somebody who said, I don't remember exactly what they said, but they said Scott Hall was so cool that even when us Latinos found out he wasn't actually Latino, we're just like, all right, whatever. We're still, and still did all his mannerisms. Awesome. Like he's the only guy that could pull off, this racial appropriation and just be like, whatever. He's still cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
He's so good at it.
Oh yeah, he was.
Because I didn't know forever that he wasn't a Latin guy until he started speaking in a regular accent in WCW.
Right, exactly. Golly, these boots are stiff. Yeah, no, it's cool, man, and I love the story he tells. Taker's got a spinning heel kick to the face.
Nice. No, that was Hall.
I mean, yeah.
Taker's
Hall,
on the outside.
Sorry, they're both in black tights and the camera's far away.
It's hard to tell.
But super kick party.
Woo!
Dang. But him talking about, Vince didn't understand Scarface and the razor, what the razor was for, chopping up cocaine. He didn't get any of that, but he still let him go with it, and it's just cool. Such an iconic character.
That's all he was doing. He's just ripping off Scarface.
My brother knows, hey yo, and he hasn't seen Scott Hall since '99. But my brother still and again, he just transcended wrestling. Oh, was that it?
I think. Yep, that is it. Hashimoto gets the pin over Scott Hall in about probably about 18 minutes or so, minus the intros there. A very fun, very interesting, very different match than anything we've ever covered here on Talking Taker.
And that finish came out of nowhere, like matches used to do. The point of a wrestling match is it can end whenever. It's supposed to be a real athletic contest. It doesn't have to be after your finisher. I mean, look at some of those early Survivor Series. Well, the first Survivor Series match we talked about with Taker, some of those ending roll-ups and stuff, they come out of nowhere. That's pretty cool. That match ended kind of just suddenly.
I dug it, man. It's cool to see that different side of them. It's cool that they have that history together to be in a match like that so early in their careers. And I'm sure we'll hear Taker in some interview sometime talk about the loss of Scott Hall,
Yeah.
and probably say some nice things about him and talk about that early time they got to spend together. So that was very cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found that and dug that up back in the day, and glad we could
And I'm
cover
glad
it
you
here.
found this new one that we're going to have 2 years later. What's going on?
Well, I definitely remember seeing this back in the day, renting Coliseum videos, because there's a couple of surprising things that happen in it. But like I said, this is on Rampage 92. You can find it in the home video section on Peacock, or if you got the VHS, you pop it in the VCR if you want to watch along with us that way. But man, it's the first match on the tape. There's little intro with Sean Mooney, but we'll just go ahead and hit play from 000.
Yeah.
Watch that intro and go straight into the match here. It's only about 12 minutes total of time with all of that. So stick along with us and cue up the Peacock, Rampage 92. Once you've got that queued up, go ahead, hit pause and go do that. And then Travis will tell you when to hit play.
All right, we'll go from here, I guess. We'll go in 3, 2, 1, play. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. All right, rolling that beautiful bean footage, presented in the most complete form possible due to original production technical difficulties. I appreciate that disclaimer.
It's always good to have.
Always good to have that. Distributed by. See if there's any typos like Monstores.
I don't think there is on this one.
Why is there a circle over Coliseum? Over the U in Coliseum?
That's the Roman
Oh, we're going to the wild
pronunciation
West.
of it.
Look at this.
Wish that theme was
What is
playing over
happening
this.
here? Is he going to come out as like the grave? Oh,
Sean Mooney is. Yes, he is.
Sean. Oh my.
Sean Mooney.
Oh, there's the butcher. Oh, he just killed the guy.
He just ki-
Shot him in
Sean
the
just
head.
killed the guy.
Uh-oh. It's 2 stagehands. Oh.
Oh, the beauty of Coliseum video. Just random crap like this happening.
So good. Those guys like work with me in East Tennessee. All right, here we go.
Undertaker and Razor Ramon. Coliseum video
Ramon.
exclusive. I did look this up. This would have been taped around September of 1992. So pretty much right when Razor is debuting here. And Undertaker is pretty recently a babyface, turned earlier in the year. So we got heel Razor early on against early babyface Undertaker.
Booing him.
Look at that beautiful crowd.
All right, that hair, the thing in the front. Like what was it, 3 weeks ago? I sent you a picture of my youngest son with
You
hair.
did.
Like he got out of the shower or something, or bathtub, and his hair looked like that. And I sent you a picture of it. Just
Scott
again,
Hall.
another thing that's iconic that you can do and look like Razor. You don't even have to have the long hair; just have that little piece coming down the front.
Remember how long it got in the NWO days, man? Like
It was down
like,
under his chin. Yeah, it was awesome.
oh
awesome.
man, that kid's got his puberty mustache growing in right there in the crowd.
Oh, my thing just started. What's your time stamp?
Oh, I'm at 2:12, 13,
All right.
14, 15. Are you back up?
2,
Let me
7,
know if you
18,
need to.
19?
Yeah,
20?
good enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Paul
mine-
Bearer leading out the dead man through the crowd. Classic
Through
Undertaker
the crowd,
stuff
that'd
here.
be cool.
That would be cool.
Come down from the dike top. Look at that toothpick in the mouth. All right, so there. I used to always have a toothpick.
Oh, go
Always
ahead,
had a toothpick, and there are 2 guys in my life that I looked up to that always had a toothpick, and one was my grandfather, my mom's dad, and one was Scott Hall. Like those 2 guys, I thought were so cool with toothpicking all the time. So I would carry my own toothpicks around with me, and
That's awesome.
middle school and whatnot, and had the cherry flavor and all kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's good stuff. Those 2 guys, man.
Look at Razor though. He is not scared of the
Nope.
Undertaker. Look at he just got up on the top rope and was just like asking him to bring it.
Yeah.
Like, man, you don't see that back in the day. I think that guy just peed his pants at the thought of the
Yeah.
Undertaker in the crowd. He is in awe of him. But Razor's just chewing on his toothpick. He's not afraid of this man. And again, that just shows his presence, how different he was back at this time.
Yep. There's your classic Taker with the gray. 1 tattoo on his forearm.
That's it. Razor's like, who
Not
cares,
impressed.
man? Whatever, let's do this, man.
Got a good tan though going.
Beautiful tights. Just a great look. Looks like $1 million.
It does. Oh, he's walking up on.
He just
pushed the
shoved
dead
him
man
from behind.
Oh, he's ready to go.
Said enough of your pre-match ritual.
Look, I mean, he's almost as tall as Taker is.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a giant.
He
was never booked like that, but he is.
Mm-mm.
And he's paying for that hubris. Undertaker choking him out, intimidating Timmy White.
Intimidating the ref. Taker with a deep V-neck tonight. He's got a lot of buttons open on it.
Business time, baby.
Yeah. Oh, gonna throw him in the corner.
Huge Irish whip.
Boom! Takes a boot to the chin. Oh, Razor on
another
the
one of those
offense.
beautiful punches and kicks. Fighting off the dead man. Oh, stiff
yikes.
forearm.
Oh, Taker's got up.
He didn't like that.
Like,
Gives him the glare.
The glare.
You see Randy Turco's draft choice, Big Bad Mama, in the front row of this crowd?
Yeah, I see that. It's great. Oh, choking him. Referee Tim White, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there she is.
There she is.
Front row.
That's gonna be Shelton Benjamin's mom.
Could be either one.
Yeah.
The claw to the face.
go
A
up
little bit of a
above.
claw move right there.
Yeah.
So Razor's going to take a little breather.
Did you figure out where's this from? You September? You don't know what?
Yeah, I didn't see what city he was from.
Oh, that guy had a Boston
Probably up north.
stick.
Oh,
Like
foam,
an inflatable or
foam
foam
nightstick?
or something. Yeah, nightstick.
Woo! Big
Oh,
shot to the stairs.
hold on. One of the greatest stunners of all time, WrestleMania 18.
Come on. Of course.
Come on. His last WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah, him in Austin. Storyline was what it was, but that match, that stunner is iconic, man.
Yep. It was worth that comeback in 2002 just for that alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you got Austin only had how many WrestleMania matches? I mean, not 5?
Yeah, well, I think so.
7? 97, 98, 99, 2001, 2002, 2003. He had 6 WrestleMania matches. One of them is Scott Hall.
One might be Kevin Owens this year.
I don't think it's a match. But I'm looking forward to it.
Taker
No matter what
misses
it
an
is.
elbow. One of those
big punch.
signature punches.
Takes him over the top rope. Oh, but a perfect 10 landing.
As always. And
He's bleeding.
notice Razor's busted open. That's what I
Yeah.
remember this match from as a kid, because you didn't see that very often. He's busted open hard way. Talk about a stunner. Apron stunner. Razor goes down.
Razor took it like he's Batista when Mark Henry charged a ring at him. Remember that? Do you remember that? When
Yes.
he like jumps back before it actually is supposed to happen. Oh, it's so funny.
He's
Yeah,
got a
busted
trickle of blood
open.
coming down the side. These
Oh.
guys are working stiff right here, New Japan style.
Yeah. That's right. WCW. Look at that punch, man. Golly, it's such a good punch. I
And
almost
they
forgot about that.
Yeah, man. But Taker's got his signature strike too. He's got that
Yeah.
uppercut. Like
Yeah.
he's working like nobody else does either.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
You can imitate both. You and I could wrestle as these guys, and no one would have to ask who we were being.
That's right.
Oh!
Whoa!
Threw the Undertaker off the top.
You didn't see that back in these
No.
days too often. He just
And he was
broke up
kind
the
of
old
amazed at
school.
himself.
And
Oh,
he's,
man.
he's
one of the
fearless
coolest-
in this match. That's what's
Yeah,
so
he
cool
is.
about it.
That is cool. Because it was very rare at this point. Because most of the heels were like, "Woo, scared of
Like Kamala or
and
something.
stuff, yeah.
Right.
One of the coolest memories I've seen, like posted on social media recently, is when they're in the ring as NWO and somebody throws a Coke and it hits Scott Hall in the head and he doesn't even sell it and he just uses it as hair gel to brush his hair back. Like I remember watching that live that night. I didn't remember it until I saw it. I was like, oh man, like I remember that. Like it's crazy. Oh, he's pushing the Boy Scout out of the way to
Just
get
shove the security guard out of the way.
Oh,
And
hitting
nails
Taker.
him. Nails Taker with his chair shot.
Oh.
And that
Wow,
guy
what a
that guy's
sell.
not a plant either. That's a legit
No.
security guard.
Tim White letting it go?
No DQ, apparently. I don't know.
No DQ.
Maybe Paul Bearer was distracting the ref. I don't know. But, yeah, man, I read another tweet that was sharing that GIF, and it was like, imagine being the guy that threw the Coke at Scott Hall and then realizing, dang it, I just made him look even cooler.
Exactly. He took that and made himself even cooler. Like, golly. Oh, I
Uh-oh.
love his choke slam.
Yes.
Is he gonna do it?
No, Taker reverses into a clothesline. I love when he would
Hall.
do it and then imitate the Giant afterward. After Giant broke his neck.
Yeah.
And he would that was another signature thing. Whoa.
Up, go.
The slop domino stretch right here.
Oh, and then watch. Here he goes, grabbing that rope. Oh, it's so good. Why does nobody do this anymore? I hope Damian Priest
Someone
does.
needs to bust it out.
Hey, get off.
Whoop. Tim White caught him. Taker flips him over. Fun little back and forth match here. Probably the main event of this house show. This is
Probably.
cool.
It's great, man. I wish these guys had a proper feud.
Would have been interesting. I read some rumors. You can't find a lot about it, but there's rumors they were gonna have a feud around 95. Like Razor talked about turning heel and going up against Taker in that time. That would have been real interesting to see.
Well, I guess that's the thing, because by the time Taker's a face here and he doesn't become a heel again until what,
99.
99?
Yeah.
So
really.
And Razor was a face. They were faces at the same time, so that's probably why. But yeah, I'd have loved to have seen a proper feud between them. I think we mentioned that on that episode? I believe we talked about dream feuds. I don't know if it was one of our top ones, but got the bloody knuckles there, man.
I think I'd read that they even taped some vignettes or something of Razor in a graveyard doing stuff, but then they just never ended up using all that stuff. So I wonder if any of that's in the archives. Maybe some of that could come out one day.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool to see.
That's awesome. When is this? 92?
This is, fall of 92.
30 years ago? So
30 years ago.
He was 33 years old here.
Ooh, that cut is opened up on Razor.
It's crazy to think about how, the guy started 21, 23 now. He's 33 here, it's just weird to think about.
Oh, yeah.
Taker.
Working out of that head.
Working it out. Crowd is not on their feet.
Not so much.
Well, maybe it's because Razor's kind of new,
Could be.
Taker's kind of been a face for a little bit. There we go. One of my favorite ways to get out of the side headlock. Elbow to the gut.
That'll do it.
Here he goes.
There's
coming
that
alive.
Clothesline. Think it's going to happen?
Nope. Boom!
There it is.
Got it.
Calling for the power of the urn.
The guys deep in the back there are excited.
Yeah, they are.
40 rows back. They are excited for this match.
Oh, Tombstone.
Those are my kind of people.
No, Scott Hall gets out of it. That's one of my favorite things about Razor would be he would always go for the Razor's Edge at the side of the ring, where it's okay, this is literally not possible for you to do the Razor's Edge right now. We know you're about to get backflipped out of the ring.
Yeah.
He did that all the time. It's come on. He's had enough, though. He's storming to the back, and Taker's going to chase him out here for the double count out.
That's it.
That's your classic Coliseum video finish right there, protecting both guys. But fun little trip down memory lane. What'd you think about that, Travis?
Next up is Brett and Sean. Oh, man, I love that. That's fun. That was a fun little – I don't think I've ever seen that one. That's great. Yeah. I enjoyed the heck out of that. It's good. Again, that was cool to see pre-Undertaker Dice Morgan and then see a very young Undertaker, but he's a babyface now. Pretty cool. We got to see a face and a heel and just how much he progressed is in 2 years. And again, how much different that match was because of how much less athleticism he was allowed to show as that character. And then how much more personality Razor was allowed to show during that. It's pretty cool. That wasn't even the goal of this. That just happens. That's his extra credit, people.
Exactly. A glance at what might have been had Taker and Razor had a feud with each other, and of course a glance at what could have been if they had tagged together. I think there's a couple other matches you can find involving them. I know they were in a tag team, a 6-man tag back in 2002 with the NWO, Nash and Hall and Biker Taker against, I think, Flair and Austin and Bradshaw on an episode of Raw. So there's that out there you could find, and just some other random things you could find between those two guys. But man, I just encourage everybody. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you are a big Razor Ramon Scott Hall fan. Just go find some of, just pick some matches, man. Of course, you could watch some of the documentaries and specials about him. But there's a Coliseum video just on Razor Ramon that's on the network. You could go check out with just some great matches. Just pick a Nitro or Thunder from 96 or 97. Pick the one from 98 that Travis went to on July 4th. Man, you can't go wrong with any of that stuff.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah. Just watch him work, man. Don't just watch people talk about him. Just watch some of his matches and appreciate how awesome he was in the ring and how unique he was.
And him and Sean at Survivor Series, SummerSlam 95. That ladder match, I think that one's fantastic.
It is, yeah.
And it gets the one at WrestleMania 10 gets talked about so much more. I think that one's fantastic as well.
It's right up there with it, no doubt.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So anyway, what are your memories of Scott Hall? We'd love to hear those. But yeah, we got not much more to say about this. It was good to get the feels out here and just remember Scott Hall. Again, we don't do this for everybody. Every wrestler has passed away over the last 5 years, but this one was a big one for us. Probably, you've been a fan longer than I have of him, and you got to meet him as a kid and stuff, so it's pretty cool. But yeah,
this one stung a little bit more, and
more than some other
we
ones.
texted and felt like it'd be a cool thing to do because we never really got to talk about him on Talking Taker, so we found a way to do that, and that's kind of what Talking Taker has been about. Of course, it's about the Undertaker. Of course, it's about his career, but it's a way to talk about so many other guys and the history of professional wrestling too. And you cannot tell the history of professional wrestling without Scott Hall, without Razor Ramon.
No.
So we do appreciate y'all joining us for this. Like Travis said, share your favorite memories. If you've got some other rare Undertaker and Razor Ramon footage, you can drop that to us at Talking Taker. Retweet and tag us in any of that footage. And before we do go, we will be back with you we'll be back with you in 2 weeks, I guess. I'm going to try to get this out this weekend, and we will be back on April 1st for our regularly scheduled episode celebrating The Undertaker going into the Hall of Fame. And by the time this comes out, you should still have a little bit of time. If you have not yet, I want to encourage you to please record a 3, 4, 5 minute message for us. It can be shorter. But
it doesn't have to be that long.
Probably not too much longer than 5 minutes or so. Just saying thank you, Taker. Saying why you're a fan of The Undertaker. Saying your favorite memories of him. Celebrating him for going into the Hall of Fame. We've already gotten some awesome submissions from people, but we'll take as many of them as that come in, and we want to edit them together for a very special, unique, one-of-a-kind episode of Talking Taker. We want you, the fans, to take over Talking Taker and pay your respects to the dead man as he goes into the Hall of Fame. It doesn't have to be anything complex. It could just be simple, basic. It doesn't have to be funny or creative. It could just be 30 seconds of you saying thank you, Taker, or you can bare your soul, talk about why he means so much to you, why he's been a significant part of your life for 30 years, and some of you have done that, and those are awesome. But we'll take all comers in to the submissions. So send us a video or audio message if you're feeling a little shy and don't want to go on camera. Send them to talkingtaker@gmail.com. talkingtaker@gmail.com by Sunday the 20th. So Sunday the 20th at midnight, that's going to be the cutoff to get those videos in, because I do have to edit them together. And me and you, Travis, are going to record a little something to throw in there. And I'm having a baby this month, so I'd like to.
Literally full.
I'm literally trying to get it done before the baby gets here any minute. But all things should be go for that to come out on April 1st, on the day he goes into the Hall of Fame. So please, 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 please. Some of you have sent in some great submissions already, but we'd love to hear from more of you. We know there's some of you out there who comment all the time and are such huge, huge Undertaker fans. We'd love for you to just take a moment, prop your phone up, and just say thank you, Taker. So please send those to us by the 20th. talkingtaker@gmail.com. All right? So that's all I got. Travis, you can close this out.
Not before we go. Too sweet, me brother.
Yeah, brother.
There we go, right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Thanks for letting us do this special episode for Big Scott Hall. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks. We'll hear from you in a couple weeks, see from you in a couple weeks as well as we celebrate the man, the Undertaker, going into the Hall of Fame, finally. And we're excited about it. And get the submissions in. And ladies and gentlemen, stay safe out there. And most importantly, take her easy.
Survey says one more.
Take her easy.
For the dead man.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Survey says, take her easy.
There you go. I like that better.